actually present here during the live stream. Of course, the live streams here on both Sundays and Wednesdays, typically at 7 p.m. Eastern. So this brand is actually Thomas Earnshaw. You probably heard of them before. They've been a part of Shop HQ in the past, and now they're back. And it's really fun to be able to talk about these timepieces. Thomas Earnshaw was just the watchmaker of his time, really. He was born, I believe, in 1749, 80 years old, passed away then 70 years old. 80 years old, passed away in 1829, and was really known for his marine chronographers. In fact, there was Charles Darwin actually had one of his timepieces when he sailed across the ocean. So it's just a little bit of a famous nature that goes along here with the timepiece. What you're going to find is just more classic designs, a little bit of a blend of some modernism, maybe in a couple designs, like maybe the first option that we have here. But elegant timepieces. All these watches today are actually going to be mechanical automatics. So there's no batteries associated with any one of these particular watches here today. So let's just talk about a couple things really quick before I get into the presentations here during the course of the live stream. So be sure to follow Shop HQ on all of their platforms. We're talking about Facebook, we're talking about Instagram, X, also on TikTok. Give them a follow. Shop HQ Watches, even on Pinterest, YouTube, and be sure to sign up for Shop HQ's alerts, whether they're text alerts, email alerts, so you know when new items are dropping, when prices are going crazy and insane, just amazing prices out there. So yeah, do that. Now follow me on social media. That is the Ryan Code. That is on Instagram, also on TikTok and X. Follow me and Victor Ryan on Facebook. Okay. Hey, Rick and Lisa's here. Good to see you both, Rick and Lisa from Kentucky. Appreciate you. First comment here of the evening. Tim Shaw, thank you, Tim. Oh, Felix. Felix the Great is here. Good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you being here for the Thomas Earnshaw timepieces here tonight. So, as I mentioned before, Thomas Earnshaw, born back in 1749 up until 1829, so 80 years old there, 80 years young, designing some amazing timepieces, and the brand has been brought back. And to really go back to those roots, just some more nautical looking timepieces out there, just that vintage type of flair. Watchman 54 is here too. Thank you for being here, buddy. Now there's one other thing. There's not a specific coupon code tonight. However, there's a thing Shop HQ is offering, and it's called Stack Your Savings. So you buy one watch, or they say one dial, get one dial, you get 10% off. Get two dials, get 15% off, and get three dials, get 20% off. So that's a great way if you're looking either to add to your collection, whether it's by 1, 2, 3 or more, or maybe you're looking for a watch for yourself and for somebody else perhaps. Be a great way to be able to do it. And I believe that goes across everything here in terms of the watches here for Shop HQ. All right, let me just see if there are any other comments. Mike B in the house, thank you for being here, buddy. Yeah, I think it's a great deal. So I believe it's all calculated at the time of checkout is how it goes. There's not a code. It's just, that's how you go. And I believe all the Thomas Earnshaw watches, all 40 of them, I clicked on it, looked like everything. I think everything on the website for watches is included in that. All right, well, let's move on here. And we're going to start out with a 42 millimeter. So the thing is, the Thomas Earnshaw timepieces, they come packaged and they come packaged in packages. So this is actually the outer sleeve. I just put all the information in here. There's extra foam, that's a part of it. The warranty is a 24-month warranty from Thomas Earnshaw here that really cover the internal components and workings of the timepiece, not really anything external, just like most other watch companies, because misuse of the timepiece or just general wear and tear is not covered under the warranty. So here's the outer sleeve of the box. And then look at the box right here. Nice blue here. And there are going to be two different box presentations here today. So you have the Earnshaw name right here, and then the TE for the logo. And so what we're looking at here, as I open up this, we're looking at the 42 millimeter extra automatic skeletonized dial square case bracelet watch. Okay. So we're looking at this timepiece here, and immediately I like this timepiece because you're going to have that skeletonized dial where you get to see the movement inside of the watch immediately, not only from the front of the watch, as you'll be able to see right here, but also then from the back of the timepiece. And if we're talking about 42 millimeters for the case diameter of the watch, I think it's just a great size for so many out there. I mean, some people I actually had someone who's in the home shopping industry today contact me. He was actually looking at a 36 millimeter and a 40 millimeter. And so, yeah, people are still all over the board when it comes to timepieces, larger, smaller. This is a classic gentleman size at that 42 millimeters, between 42, 46, and then modern lady size too. If women want to get in this watch, I'd say go for it, all right? So here we go, skeletonized out. Now it's that square case, but it's a little bit more of that octagonal with the 8 different sides here, as you can see, that go along. And then look at the bezel too. The bezel is unique. It's almost like that square design, but it's rounded off on the edges, a little bit tighter off to the fore, north, south, east, and west, and a little bit more girth with the brushed finish that goes along here for the timepiece. So we're looking at the regular price of this watch, $300. Shop HQ whack that down 50%, down to $149, okay? Now here's the thing. I'll just do some of the math on it because remember, you buy more, you save more. So just buying one watch, one dial, you're gonna save that $14.90, bring this watch actually down to $134.10. If you end up getting 2 watches, any 2 watches, doesn't have to be 2 of these, you're gonna save $22.35 on this, or bring it down to $126.65. And then if you end up getting 3 different dials, 3 different watches, you will save $29.80 on this, or down to $119.20. So yeah, shop more, save more that goes along with this. I think this watch is fantastic, even at that $149 mark. That's even before that 10% you'll get just for purchasing that one timepiece. Let's see, Watch Junkie is here. Bob, yes, better late than never. And then Juan, hey, good to see you, Juan. Appreciate you being here, brother. All right, well, let's look at this and talk about the different color choices. So we have 3 different color choices. We have the silver khaki, we have the silver green, and then the rose and the blue. This is going to be that silver khaki design here for this watch. So that hexagonal silhouette is, it's a daring departure from something that's conventional out there, and just like trying something new. And I do really like this in terms of that. You can see that octagonal design for the entire case here, the crown off to that traditional 3 o'clock position. Looking on the inside of the timepiece here, I'm just trying to show you the best with the lighting I have, is you can see the balance wheel that's moving back and forth here for this timepiece. Now you get the hour, minute, and second hands that are just going off that center canyon pinion here for the watch. And then you get the stick markers for all 12-hour markers, a little bit wider one at that 12 o'clock position. And then there is some luminescence that's going along here for the timepiece, also for all the hour markers, and then in addition to the hour and the minute hands on this timepiece. So let's see, Bob, just 40 and over 42, just 40 and 42 millimeter tonight. Yes, I believe so, Bob. Not on my screen right. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. Actually, let me just get to the right watch. Here we go. Apologize. I thought I had it on the correct watch. Now the watch is right there. So you can click on it and figure out, and you can look at the timepiece. So I apologize about that. So what we have here for the movement, it is the P2650SZ from PTS Resources. So that brand of movements is used by a lot of different watch manufacturers out there, especially when they do a lot of the mechanical and mechanical automatics. And so what you get is that 3-hand movement, 20 different jewels, and bidirectional rotor. So you can, either direction that rotor is going to turn will wind up the watch, but then also hand wound here for this timepiece. I like the bracelet too. It's going to taper down just a little bit from where it actually affixes into the lug design here. It's a long extended design here for that first link that's going to come down. And then taper down a little bit more, all brushed, all the same, no contrasting. It goes along for the bracelet of the timepiece. And then right here, you have that dual deployant closure, that non-interrupted look, butterflies out. Everything is just perfectly done here. Feels solid too. I mean, you can just have nice audible clicks going all the way around. Now, the one thing is wrist sizes, and I don't have my cone with me. I'm not actually at my residence right now. So I'm going to have to do an estimate on this for the size. I'm a 6 3/4, 7 3/4 for sure. Probably about an 8 1/4 inch wrist. 8.5 is going to probably be just a little tight here on this. We're looking at the mineral crystal on this timepiece, both the front and the back. So you get that impact resistance that's associated. But I gotta say, I love the $149.99. You get for this watch though, it's gonna go down 10%, and that's going to be down to $134.10. If you get 2 different watches tonight, it goes down to $126.65. You get 3 watches tonight, and that one order goes down almost $30 down to $119.20. Okay, and as I mentioned before, 3 different color choices that go along with this Thomas Earnshaw. I'll put the watch on my wrist. See, that looks really nice. The bracelet on this watch too is really fluid. So it's going to just hug around the wrist with an exceptional level of comfort. I think it's really well balanced also as I just pinch the bracelet onto the wrist here too. So I think this is a great timepiece here to get into. And of course, with the mechanical automatic, you're never gonna have a battery to be able to change out and have that added expense associated here with the timepiece. So take another look at it here. Let me just see if there's anything further. I can do a couple quick measurements on this. Water resistance. You're looking at 5 atmospheres or 50 meters, so you can get the watch wet and it'd be okay. I know, great price. Yep, a tapering bracelet. So let me just see here really quick where we're going to start out at with the bracelet. I do have my calipers. I just couldn't pack I couldn't pack the cone for you guys. I'm sorry about that. It just would have gotten squished in my luggage. And so here we go. We're going to look at right here. What is that, about 23.5 millimeters or 23.2? Yeah, 23.5. And then it will taper down here a little bit thinner. We're going to go down to, 19.2. So yeah, actually it does get, 19.5 probably looking all the way across. I'll just double check. I know you guys are all disappointed. 10 to 4. We're looking at, going straight across, that's where we're getting the 42 millimeters, actually 42.5 millimeters. We go traditionally from 10 to 4, and it includes in the widest edges of the watch, 45 millimeters. We go exactly from 10 to 4 because you're going to have that outer, what you're going to have is you're going to have the outer sort of edge of both of those, of the octagon here for the timepiece. So yeah, let's see. Oh, here's Invicta Claus also. Anthony, thank you for being here, buddy. But just a real fluid timepiece. I'm really liking it. I love the weight that's associated. I do have the scale here too. That actually was able to travel with me well. And in terms of the overall weight, 172 grams, which is going to be 6 ounces exactly. So I think great timepiece. It's packing a lot here for that 42 millimeters, especially with the price. And if you add on some additional watches. So, okay. This is the first item. Let me just see anything else about it. Yeah, it says fits up to about 8-inch wrist size. So I would say, yeah, right on that 8 1/4 inch wrist size. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. So, all right, final look. I'll do one more look here right at the end. I'll just do sort of a post view instead of a preview of all the different timepieces. Now, you guys, I know a lot more of you just joined in since I was here already, or since I started. Be sure to follow Shop HQ on all the social media platforms. That's going to be Shop HQ on TikTok, that's Shop HQ Watches, Shop HQ Official. You can follow them on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Sign up for the text alerts. Sign up for the email alerts for new stuff, because all these Thomas Earnshaw watches, these are all new tonight. So they just got loaded within the last day or two on Shop HQ's website. So yeah, you always want to know about that and follow me for sure. That is the Ryan Code on Instagram, also on TikTok and X, and then Invicta Ryan on Facebook. Now the other thing too is I will be on tomorrow. Now I am on TikTok tomorrow through Shop HQ. I know a lot of you guys has been there, but the time is going to be just a little bit different. We're going to go a little bit more over that lunch period. So it will be from technically 12:30 Eastern to 3:30 Eastern. So 12:30 to 3:30 Eastern, 11:30 to 2:30 Central. West Coast, you're looking then at 9:30 to 12:30. So we're just trying to capture everybody over lunch. We just had to push it out 90 minutes, and that was just because of me. So Harry and the gang, they were cool with that. Okay, let's see. Watch Junkie, everybody else, Bob. How long is this show? Probably about a half hour or so, probably another 15, 20 minutes here, Bob. And then tomorrow, though, is going to be 3 hours. And then back on Friday, it'll be the regular 11 a.m. time. So 2 more 3-hour shows, and those will be our live streams. They'll be on TikTok. So technically 12:30 tomorrow Eastern, and then Friday at the traditional 11 a.m. Eastern. And that's on TikTok. All right, next timepiece I am grooving on, and the last one too. It's always fun. I love seeing the new timepieces. It's always fun and exciting. And this one's going to be a little bit different. It's the smallest watch of the 3 that I'm presenting tonight. And what we're looking at right here is the 40 millimeter Thomas Earnshaw men's 40 millimeter Investigator, 40 millimeter automatic skeletonized dial leather strap watch. So you look at it immediately, just really has more of that vintage flair that's associated here with the timepiece. 40 millimeters is a fantastic size for a watch. I mean, I've been really wearing a lot of my watches lately from my 40 millimeter Pro Diver, my first Invicta watch, which actually I have with me. I have the Duke So, the Deep Diver Atlantica, which is a 44 millimeter. I've been really in some of the Grand Divers too. So I've been really hugging around that 40 millimeter realm quite a bit lately. And so what we have here with this 40 millimeter with the Investigator, there are 5 different color choices. There is a brown and blue. There is a rose and black, which I believe this one is rose. Then we're looking at the gold black. Actually, this is the gold black that I have. Then the gold green and a black with brown. So yes, now what we're looking at here, the regular price for this watch, skeletonized both the front and the back, so you get to see all the way through. Look, you can even see me. Look at that. And what we're looking at for the regular price, I mean, the regular price I think is affordable right here before any discounts or anything like that. $220 MSRP. Shop HQ brought it down to $129. That's 41% off, okay? 41% off. And so now right away, because Shop HQ has that deal going right now, you save by how many, what they're saying dials, which is watches, save 10% off of 1, 15% off 2, and then you're saving 20% off of 3 timepieces. So go ahead and take advantage and get that, because this watch actually just, if you only get this one in one of the 5 different color choices, you're going to save right here. You're going to save another $12.90. So it goes from $129 down to $116.10. You get 2 watches, and this is part of your cart. Goes down to $109.65, and you get 3 watches. Goes down to $103.20. $103.20. I'll tell you, this watch is worth every bit of that and more. Now let's go into this watch just a little bit more. So we're getting a second skeletonized dial. The Thomas Earnshaw, the TE, is the 12 o'clock hour marker on this, but you'll see the Roman numerals carrying all the way around the outer perimeter of the dial, where we do have that skeletonized look here for the movement on the inside. Perfectly sized, again, at that 40 millimeters, and that mesmerizing, just look at the movement on the inside of the timepiece here. You can see the balance wheel that's moving over that 9 o'clock position. You can see on the case back, see through also with this watch. And the movement is going to be the DDSZ2002. So you get that 3-hand movement that stems here from the timepiece, hand winding and also automatic, so mechanical automatic. But then I like this too, because we have a little bit more with that genuine leather. And here's the thing, the leather, as you'll look, is the same on the front and the back. It's just that one piece of leather. There's a little bit of a whip stitch that goes through both the bottom and the top, total of 4. And where's genuine leather? It shows right here. Look at that, genuine leather. one piece, and then Earnshaw. You have two keepers. One of the keepers is actually stitched in, so that's going to be a stationary keeper. The other one's going to be that floating keeper, so you can just get it right to the end of the tail end of that strap. Hold on one second, I just have an itch in my eye. Okay, let me just see if there are any other comments. Oh, look at this. Sandy, thank you for being here. Good to see you back. And any other, you guys are just chatting above yourself. Oh, Watch Junkie, love the band before. Nice watches tonight, Sandy. Thank you very much. Very elegant and classic. Buy 3. That's what Invicta Claw says. Buy 3. All right. So what we have here for the different variations, it's a completely round case design. And what you'll find then too is just how the strap is incorporated. I mean, you get the free rein here for the timepiece. So that strap, bigger wrist, smaller wrist, really, really easy as it just sits in right here around the wrist. Notice too, the raised edges as a design here actually tapers up a little bit from the bottom of the case with, in a sense, the different steps that are going up on the case all the way up to the bezel here for the watch. I believe the strap is going to be right around that 20 millimeters. Let's just check that out here really quick. It's going to be, I think, just a little bit wider at the top, and then it might actually taper down to 20 or 18. But yeah, definitely appropriate. So right here at the lug area, we're looking at, was that 19.8? So that's right at 20 millimeters. And then we're going to taper down to, what is that, 15.3? Oh my gosh. Yeah, really narrow strap on that. There's a much larger taper than what I actually imagined at first. Okay. And then wrist size, I'll have to just do this. It says on the website 8-inch. So let me just see really quick how much extra strap there's going to be with the notches as I have that on my wrist, because I'm just under that 7-inch wrist. Oh, it's going to be over 8 because I am on right now only the 3rd notch. And there are 6 more notches after that. There's plenty of strap. That's another 1.5 inches. I mean, we're looking at probably 8.5 inch on this, I would say. 8.25 for sure, possibly 8.5 inch wrist. But just beautifully designed here. I think it looks sharp. And for the price, I mean, whether you get the one, if you're just getting one watch, $129 goes down to $116.10. If you get 3 watches, it's going to all go to $103 and change. But this would be, I think, a fantastic graduation gift, because here's the thing, whether it is for that grad or maybe it's one of those just because gifts, think about those gifts out there. With this watch, you don't have to change a bracelet. If the wrist size changes over time, it's not a big deal. You just go from one notch to another. Mechanical automatic, so you don't have to worry about having a battery change, and you get that 2-year warranty that goes along with Thomas Earnshaw. So I think this is a fantastic buy here tonight. And look at that, even the cabochon just right off to the side here. I think this is a really, really sharp watch. I'd be very happy to have this watch in my personal collection. And check this out too, very easy to read. So even from afar, looks like you're gonna have just a little bit of luminescence right there on both the hour and the minute hands on this. And of course, you're getting that sweeping second hand with this mechanical automatic. Okay, let's see. Invicta Claws. Oh, how thick? Good question, Mark. How thick is this particular timepiece? This one, double check. I think it's right around that 15 millimeters. Thank you for asking that, and I forgot to mention, but we'll look at right here. What are we looking at? 14.5? 14.4? 14.4 on the thickness. So yeah, right between 14 and 15 millimeters on this timepiece. And then let's see what else about it. Get the 5 meters of, or 5 atmospheres of water resistance. Let me just polish up the case back. I'll just show you really quick one more time. And then we'll move on to the final timepiece, which is really cool. I mean, all of these are. All right, here's the case back for you guys. I'll try to just, I have different lighting that's going along here. So hopefully you can see everything pretty well. Okay. All right. You know what? I'm going to keep this watch. I'm going to put it on my wrist. So I'm going to go and grab a little bite to eat afterwards. I don't know where I'm going to go. I could wear my Pro Diver, I could wear my Duxo, or I could wear one of these. This is a leather strap, so maybe I'll wear this out, especially if I keep this shirt on. If I go something else, I might go a different watch. But there we go, on the right wrist. Okay. Oh, Randall, thank you for being here. Like your comment. Appreciate that. Okay. Final timepiece. Now, this watch is going to come in, first of all, where to go? Well, I took it out, but let me just, I'll just grab it here for you so you can see it. So first of all, there's a sleeve to protect the outer box, okay? So there's a sleeve that just protects, which is the outer box, which is really nice right here. I put everything else inside of it, but you're actually getting a little white towel that goes along, extra padding for the actual box that goes inside. So you have the presentation box, then you have the padding, then you have this box, and then you have this sleeve. So everything's protected. Again, just very, very well thought out. You know, not really skimping on, not skimping on anything when it comes to packaging. You guys know me, packaging I think is really, really important for a timepiece. So you guys, real quick, more of you are here. Let me just say I will be on the live stream tomorrow, and I'll be on TikTok. That will be a different time. It's going to get pushed out 90 minutes. I had a scheduling conflict, and so it's going to be actually at 12:30 Eastern tomorrow for 3 hours. And then Friday we'll be back to the usual time, which will be 11 a.m. Eastern. And of course, Sunday, we have the Sunday wind-up, which will be right at 7 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so final timepiece of the night from Thomas Earnshaw. Okay, this is going to be the 42 millimeter and wood box. Very nice. So you get the wood box. It's a 42 millimeter Dalton automatic open heart balance bracelet watch. Now look at this. Take the watch out. This is really, really neat. Okay, give me 1 second. So yeah, 42 millimeters, and immediately I can feel the weight that's associated with this watch. Notice right here, before I get to the dial, we have the 7-link design with the odd numbered links, 1, 3, 5, and 7 being brushed finish links. 2, 4, and 6 are going to be very high polished. So you have that nice contrast associated with this watch. High polished bezel at about that 45-degree angle. And then look at, and even get a little ring underneath. And then check out the dial on this watch. Look at the embossing that goes along with the dial here for the blue, and it almost ombres. So it's going to be that blue in the middle and almost like fades out to a little bit of a darker, deeper ocean blue, depending on how you're looking at it. And then what's really cool about this, oops, you know what? Yeah. And what's really cool about this timepiece is you have your seconds down at the bottom of the dial, and you have your hour and your minute hand at the very top, and then you have your balance wheel right in the center of the timepiece. So this watch, I mean, this is exceptional. I just have to put it on my wrist right away just to see what it looks like. Yeah, that is hot. Look at that. That's an absolute beauty right here. Loving it. Yeah, a little bit more modest in terms of sizes here for tonight, but let's go through everything a little bit more. So we have 6 different color choices. We have the white, the black, the blue, which I have here, green, red, and cream. Cream is the only one that's not going to have a little bit of that ombre as much as the other different colors. So here we go. Let me just make sure this isn't hairy. Oh, let me just change out here to the final watch. There we go. All right. So here we go with the timepiece, 42 millimeters for the design here of the watch. And basically this is a new iteration of the Drake. And so you're gonna have that luxury and that style here that goes along with the timepiece. And then, you know, the automatic movement that is so unique. And so we have some classic blended in with that modernization here of this watch. So here we go. Now the movement on the inside is going to be the PTS resources. It's going to be the C9001. So you get the 2 hands dictating the hour and the minute up at the very top of the dial. And then you have your small seconds at that 6 o'clock subdial with your balance wheel at the center. You're looking at the accuracy, plus or minus 45 seconds a day with a 36-hour power reserve and 21,600 vibrations per hour. And this is that mechanical automatic here for the timepiece, okay? Look at that dial. Just take that in for a second. Love the embossing that's been done for this timepiece. Now here's something else I want to talk about is I want you to look at the crystal. The crystal, let me just see if it does have a little, not much. It's pretty much a flat crystal. It has a little bit of a beveled edge that's going to rise up, and it's really smooth. There's hardly, you can see it right here, just a little bit of that beveled edge for the crystal. And now as you look at it on the inside, this crystal is actually a K1 crystal. And so it's heat treated, and it offers a great balance between a traditional mineral and also premium synthetic sapphire. So you get the scratch resistance and also the shatter resistance with the K1 crystal. And it just really gives you that excellent transparency to look into the dial, especially on a timepiece like this. So yes, I think this is just absolutely gorgeous timepiece here. Exhibition case back is what you'll find yet again here for this watch. So you're really getting into that. And as I mentioned, I believe there were a few different color options. There were 6. Now here we go in terms of the pricing. Oh yeah, Mike B is loving this one. Invicta Claws like this. Yeah, one, I forgot. I'll go back to the second watch one I had on my wrist. I forgot to put that on the screen. So I'll do that in just a second here for you, buddy. So here we go. Bracelet, amazing. Let me just talk about that really quick in terms of size. The bracelet is going to be starting out a little bit wider. It will taper down, and we do have that dual deployment closure. So here we go right here. So we're looking at what, 19 millimeters, and we're going to taper all the way down to 15.5, right? Yep, 15.5 millimeters. Actually, the thickness of the bracelet is going to be at its widest point about 3.5 millimeters. And we'll confirm the overall thickness of the watch. We're looking at what, about 15 millimeters in the overall profile. So here's the price on this. So the price right now, it's at the $410 for this timepiece. 6 different color options for you. Now, if you're buying it here today, you get that one watch. You get that 10% off. And so it goes from $410 down to $369. You're saving $41. If you're getting 2 dials today, it will go down $61.50 down to $348.50. And then if you're getting 3 timepieces, you'll save $82. And the watch goes from $410 down to $328. So yeah, I know it almost looks black. It's just really dependent, Mark, on the angle you're looking at the watch. It's very unique. And I think the ombre, from what I'm seeing, I think it's defined as when the light is hitting, I believe the dial extends out past the circumference, or right here for the timepiece. So the bezel actually go over, and that I think is what is creating a little bit of that ombre effect here for the watch. So you can see it looks like the same color all the way through, but then you get that ombre effect by just having, I believe how it works is just the bezel will be a little bit over the dial here for the timepiece. Yeah, very elegant, very sharp look. And so this movement, yep, as I mentioned before, it's the C9001, where you're getting the 6 vibrations per second. Yeah, beautiful timepiece here. And then you're getting the K1 crystal. 8-inch should be on the bracelet. It might be a little bit more generous. Let me just check really quick. Nope, I would say probably right at that 8-inch. I think that's spot on here for this watch. But you're getting a fluid bracelet design yet again. This is my little test. If I can go around my finger like this, it's going to be just an easy bracelet. Dual deployment closure, butterfly clasp with 2 different buttons. And it gives you that non-interrupted look, which I really like when the bracelet's on. Simple press of those 2 buttons will then release the bracelet here for you on the wrist. So here, let's just look at the inside of the dial here real quick. One more time. Yeah, beautiful timepiece. All right, let me just go back really quick because Juan wanted me to just show this. I'm going to show the watch on my wrist one more time, the Investigator, that 40 millimeter, just an unbelievable price, many different color options. Just going to scroll back up to that for the 40 millimeter Investigator. And here it is right now on the screen. It is highlighted right now. So here it is. And then I'm going to jump off, do some more studying and get ready for tomorrow's live streams. I have a whole suitcase full of watches. All right, here's that Investigator 40 yet again. And regular price $220 down to $129. But right away, you're going to get another $12.90 off. So it's going to be $116.10. If you end up getting 3 watches, this watch then goes down to $103.20. So check that out, front and back. 40 millimeters cabochon, also in this variation, done in that black. And this one is the 18 karat gold version with the black. The other color choices are a brown with blue, rose with black. I have the gold with black. There's a gold and green, and then finally a black and a brown. So yeah, let me see anything else, you guys. Anything else you want to see? I will be back tomorrow. Now remember, I'm going to be just a little bit later than typical for the TikTok streams. I had to push it out 90 minutes. So it's going to actually be 12:30 Eastern. 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific time. And I'll be on for 3 hours on TikTok with some watches here. And I'll be on Friday at the regular time, which will then be at 11 a.m. Eastern. And then I'll be back for the Sunday windup this coming Sunday. And that will be at typical 7 p.m. Eastern. Let's see. Randall says, this would look good with a buckle on the leather strap. Actually, I think that would be pretty cool. I like that idea, Bike. Yeah, I mean, look, the leather on this, look, it's the same on the front and back. I mean, maybe it's just a little bit, looks like it slightly a little bit smoother in the front, just a little grain, little extra texture than on the back here for that. Yeah, looks great. And the Roman numerals, yep, Invicta Claws, I like that too. Roman numerals look amazing. Yeah, the only one, because we had stick markers on the first timepiece, and then we just had, we had actually some diamond shape and some round hour markers on the last timepiece. So, all right, you guys, appreciate each and every one of you being here. I have to log off now, just grab a quick bite. I have to do some extra work here tonight, probably for the next few hours, but thank you so much for being here. I'll catch you tomorrow on TikTok with Shop HQ, and that will be at 11:30 a.m. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Genuinely appreciate each and every one of you. And I will see you tomorrow, Friday, and also Sunday.